Hi students, myself Dr. K. Sivaya, Department of Pharmacology, TVM College of Pharmacy. So, in the glycogen metabolism, regarding that next metabolism is glycogen metabolism. See, if you observe the glycogen metabolism means here anabolism and catabolism, either glycogen synthesis or glycogen breakdown. The two pathways we can study here. So in glycogen synthesis, the glucose molecules, the polymer number of glucose molecules combined together to form a polymer. That's we can call as glycogen. So in that polymer, so bonds at branches are connected to carbon 1,6, bonds at non-branching sites connected to carbons at 1,4, alpha 1,4. So where it is glycogen synthesis happen? So liver and muscle. The function of liver is glycogen is to maintain blood glucose concentration. For what purpose the liver is synthesize the glycogen? After that, the glycogen synthesis it is breakdown and to produce some glucose molecules in the maintain the glucose molecules in the blood. Then, if you other hand, the muscle glycogen serves as a immediate accessible energy store and cannot be converted to glucose. This maximum it is directly it is act as a serves as a energy. Now glycogenesis steps. So genesis formation. So glycogen formation. So it is a anabolic process. It's a build-up process resulting in the formation of glycogen from glucose, fructose, and galactose. So from these molecules, the glycogen was formed. That's we can call as glycogenesis. It is a rate limiting steps because of the glycogen synthesis limited only. That's why it is a rate limiting. That enzyme is glycogen synthase. So these glycogenesis induced by hormone is insulin. And which hormones are inhibit the glycogenesis are glucagon and adrenaline. Glucagon and adrenaline initiate the gluconeogenesis. Next. This is the pathway how the glucose molecules are converted into glycogen. So it is a glycogenesis and glycogenesis. So here the glucose molecule in the presence of glucokinase, not hexokinase, glucokinase is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate. Then mutase. So this mutase, phosphoglucomutase. So just to change the mutation of the phosphate. So mutation takes place. So glucose 6-phosphate is converted to glucose 1-phosphate. How glycerol 3-phosphate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate in glycolysis. Same like that, glucose 6-phosphate is converted to glucose 1-phosphate in the presence of mutase enzyme. After this formation, in the presence of iridium, phosphate glucose phosphorylase. So here this step we can call as activation of UDP. So in this here, the glucose 1-phosphate combined with the iridium, you combine with the unit triphosphate loss of phosphate and produces the UDP glucose phosphate. So UDP glucose, iridium diphosphate plus glucose molecule. Next, here the glycogen. So this glycogen is a protein. Is a protein. It have the end of the this glycogen molecule have the tyrosine amino acid. The tyrosine amino acid have the hydroxyl group. So these glycogen molecule accept the binding of UDP glucose molecule. For that, glycogen initiator synthase. These glycogen initiator synthetase enzyme transfer one glucose molecule, only one glucose molecule from the UDP. It will bind to help it to bind with the glycogen molecule. Fine. So these glycogen after binding UDP1 one glucose molecule, the glycogen itself bind with other 2 to 3 molecules of glucose. Then to form the glycogen primer. Glycogen primer. Got it? So to form the glycogen primer. Okay. After formation of these glycogen primer, then in the presence of glycogen synthase enzyme, these glycogen primer bind with the uridine diphosphate glucose molecule, like that 13 uridine diphosphate molecules. It is binded either 13 or 14, whatever it is, 10 or 5. It is binded to form the more molecules to the glycogen, more glycogen molecule at position of alpha 14 position. At alpha 14 position, these one glucose one molecule bonded alpha 14 position to the second glucose molecule, second and third bonded to the alpha 1. All 1,4 bond linkage linear. A linear, it is formed in the presence of glycogen synthase. Then after that, after this formation, in the presence of glycosyl transferase from alpha 162 sorry, from alpha 140 here, because of alpha 14, from alpha 14 to alpha 6. See what happening here. See here 10 to 16 glucose molecules. Here the molecules to catalyzed in the presence of glucose transfer enzyme. It is catalyzed here. It break these 6 molecules and transfer and attached at seventh glucose molecule at the position of bond is alpha 16. That's why they've written glucosal transferase from alpha 14 to 16. They've written directly 4 to 6 transferase enzyme. So like that, after formation of linear glucose molecules, either 3 fragment or 5 fragment is cut or divided by this enzyme. These is transferred to the branch at the alpha 16 position. So this now it is called as glycogen formation. So these steps, and first this step, elongation of glycogen synthesis, formation of alpha 14 bonds, and branching of glycogen 4,6 transferase. These, when it is glucose molecules, linear formation and branching formation, linear branching. So like this, it is happening of more number of steps to finally to form the glycogen. So once I'm repeating, the glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate in the presence of glucokinase. The major enzyme is phosphoglucomatase. It is converted to glucose 6-phosphate 1-phosphate. Then after that, this one, uridine phosphate glucophosphorylase, uridine glucose pyrophosphorylase. Here the uridine phosphate, the glucose molecule, the UDP, uridine diphosphate, the uridine triphosphate is converted to uridine diphosphate and bonded to the glucose molecules. Up to here, one step, the formation of glucose to uridine phosphate, uridine diphosphate glucose molecules formation up to this one step. The second step is formation of glycogen primer. This glycogen primer, how it is formed? The glycogen is a protein. Glycogen is a protein and binded with the UDP glucose molecules. Binded with the UDP glucose molecule to form the glycogen primer. During this, the glucose molecules, 2-3 molecules are attached. This is glycogen primer. After this formation, in the presence of glycogen synthase alpha 1,4 position, the glucose molecules attach. Then after that, glucosyl transferase enzyme, it break the 3 to or 5 or 6 fragments of glucose molecules and attach it to the branching at alpha 1,6. So that's why this enzyme alpha 1,4 to alpha 1,6. That's why 4 to 6. So they given like that. So in this process, if it is elongation, glycogen synthesis and the glucose transferase branching enzyme, these to form the glycogen. So repeat the 4 to 5 for the extension of glycogen formation. So this is the common reaction what I have written in that glucose. Here it is utilized here glucose 6-phosphate in presence of mutase 6-1 and UTP glucose is converted to UDP. 1-phosphate is released phosphorylase. So activation of glucose by uridine. So this is the structure. UDP glucose molecule. This is uridine. Okay. This is the diphosphate molecule. And glycogen, what is the protein? Is a 37 deltas protein that auto-catalyzes the addition of 8 glucose units starting with the covalent attachment to one of its tyrosines. So this is what is the glycogen, that is protein. It acts as a two-form glycogen primer. Initiator synthetase, that you studied, glycogen plus UDP glucose. Okay, next here. So same thing, the glycogen in uridine diphosphate, it is binded like this glycogen, but glycogen in itself, first the synthetase enzyme take the one UDP glucose molecule, but the glycogen itself took up the 2 to 3 molecules. Then after the glycogen primer is formed, then after that glycogen synthesis, more UDP glucose molecules then formed. Then branching engine, you see the same glycogen synthesis. This is the same thing. Reaction. So this reaction alpha, so where it is glucose molecules alpha 1,4. That is see, this is branching. See this entire molecule, breaked and here form the alpha 1,6 branching point. So this is branching. This is non-reducing. This is non-reducing. Here the glycogen. Okay, so that is alpha 1,4 and 1,6. So glycosyl 4,6 transferase is the alpha 1,4 to alpha 1,6 transfer glucosidase, moves a large linear chunk to a branch position C6. Increase the density of polymer because of when it is branched, the density increased. Okay, the glycogen genesis, getting glucose from storage, glycogen phosphorylase, the phosphorylase is the main point. This is the phosphorylation, not a hydrolysis process. Glucose 1 phosphate is formed, then after that glycogen in formation. Okay. Next, glycogenolysis. See, here the glycogenolysis, the breakdown of the glycogen to form the glucose molecules is called as glycogenolysis. See, in the glycogenolysis, mainly uh, degradation of glycogen in the liver and muscle to produce the glucose molecules. It's mainly where it is happening, where it is degraded. If you understand the glycogenesis, glycogen formation, mainly alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6 bonds are make the glycogen. Here also, if you want to break the glycogen, there we have to break where that is alpha 1,4 bond and alpha 1,6 bond. So if you take these glycogen, here alpha 1,6 bond, and then after that here the linear glucose alpha 1,4 molecules is there. Then here the linear, here all are alpha 1,4 bond linkage to glucose molecules. So these first step is glycogen phosphorylase. That what I said, alpha 1,4 bond breakage and alpha 1,6 bond, just you see what I said. So the glycogen phosphorylase enzyme to break the alpha 1,4 bond, alpha 1,4 bond here and here. Here it breaks here it will break up to 4 molecules, up to here 1, 2, 3, 4. So here up to 4 molecules, up to here it will break it in alpha 1,6 in the presence of glycogens to form the glucose 1 phosphate. In the presence of glycogen phosphorylase, to form the glucose 1 phosphate plus limited dextrin, to form the glucose 1 phosphate plus limited dextrin. The breakdown of glucose molecules 1,1,1,1 phosphatase phosphorylase enzyme to convert to glucose 1 phosphate. This again it will break glucose 1 phosphate molecules. Fine. These glucose 1 phosphate molecule again it is converted into glucose 6 phosphate. That's why I given arrow mark directly here. But after formation, I've said both are found, glucose 1 phosphate and limited dextrin are formed in the presence of glycogen phosphorylase to form the glucose 1 phosphate and a limit dextrin. So these limit dextrin are if you take an alpha 1,6, here the 4 glucose molecules. So up to here it will break the glucose molecules by the glycogen phosphorylase enzyme. After formation of these, up to these, we can call as limited dextrin. These how it is break. So debranching enzyme, transferase enzyme. So it break the alpha 1,6 bond. So when it is break, the glucose molecules come this side. Okay, so glucose molecules come. So first here it will break, then it come here. Again it will break, again it will come. So first debranching enzyme act here. So the glucose molecule removed and attached to the alpha 1,4 position. Then after that, again the debranching enzyme same activity, but here now it is exact alpha 1,6. This is alpha, but here alpha 1,4. Here alpha 1,4, here alpha 1,4, here alpha 4. So debranching enzyme activity act first to remove the linear carbon, the linear glucose molecules from here. Then after that, it remove the at the alpha 1,6 bond position. Then the glucose molecule free. Then this one again this further action of phosphorylase same, again the phosphorylase same, that to form the one glucose, that is one glucose one phosphate molecule. It will break again, it will break again, it will break, and to form the glucose one phosphate molecule. In the presence of mutase enzyme, glucose phosphoglucomutase or mutase, just if you written mutase enough, so the glucose 1 phosphate is converted into glucose 6 phosphate. These glucose 6 phosphate either it is enter into the glycolysis, either into the glycolysis in the cytosol, if it is cytosol, in the liver, if it is formed, it is converted into glucose. So this is the breakdown of glycogen molecule into glucose. The main steps are glycogen phosphorylase, glycogen phosphorylase. Next, debranching enzyme. These enzymes to break the alpha 1,4 bond and alpha 1,6 bond respectively. These enzymes are mainly to convert the glucose into glucose formation. Got it? So this is after this is a limited dextrine. Okay. So first, whatever the formed, the 3 glucose residues are removed. First 3 glucose are removed. Then exact alpha 1,4 position. Then after that, remove the one glucose single glucose molecule at alpha 1,6 position, glycosidase activity. Control of glycogen metabolism. So how these glycogenesis and glycogenolysis, how it is controlled by the mainly is a highly regulated process involving the reciprocal control and glycogen phosphorylase and glycogen synthase. You know, the main glycogen phosphorylase is mainly involved in the glycogenolysis. In these glycogen synthesis in this glycogenesis. So these two major enzymes to control or regulation, either it is to form now glycogen or degradation of glycogen. So these two, so these glycogen allosterically activated by AMP and inhibited by ATP and glucose 6-phosphate. The glycogen phosphorylase allosterically activated by adenosine monophosphate and inhibited by adenosine triphosphate. And glycogen synthesis GS is stimulated by glucose 6-phosphate and adenosine triphosphate. This is opposite. Glycogen phosphorylase to break down the glycogen. So this is activated by AMP adenosine monophosphate, but inhibited by adenosine triphosphate. But glycogen synthesis stimulated by glucose 6-phosphate and adenosine triphosphate. Both enzymes are regulated by covalent modification of phosphorylation. Allosteric control. So these are the enzymes, activators, inhibitors. What I said already. Liver glycogen phosphorylase. So glycogen phosphorylase is mainly involved in the glycogen phosphorylase enzyme involved in the glycogenolysis. Breakdown of glycogen molecule. So for this inhibitors adenosine triphosphate, adenosine triphosphate and glucose. Why it is glucose to inhibit? Because of the glucose, the main, what is the aim? Glycogen breakdown formation. So if the glucose molecules it is there, the process will inhibit it. Glucose 6 phosphate. What I said here already. And muscle glycogen and phosphorylase. Muscle glycogen phosphorylase. It is activated by adenosine monophosphate inhibited by glucose 6 phosphate and adenosine triphosphate. Glycogen synthesis is activated by glucose 6 phosphate and adenosine triphosphate inhibitors now. So the glycogen, if you think about in a hormonal level, glucagon epinephrine activates the adenyl cyclase and produces cyclic AMP. See, cyclic AMP activates the kinases that control the phosphorylation of uh, glycogen, glycogen pyrophosphorylase and glycogen synthetase. So GTP bioimpedance mediate the communication between the hormone receptor and adenyl cyclase enzyme. See, already we discussed earlier class the use of cyclic AMP. We can see that imagine, then we can understand easily. Just to understand how the cyclic AMP activate kinase that control the phosphorylation of glycogen phosphorylase and the glycogen synthetase enzymes. Insulin secreted from thyroid is responsible to and increases the blood glucose level. Insulin stimulates the glycogen synthesis. Insulin stimulates the glycogen and inhibits the glycogen breakdown. Glucagon and epinephrine stimulates the glycogen breakdown. Stimulates the glycogen breakdown. Just opposite of insulin. Glucagon is secreted with the pancreas. It always increases the glucose levels. That's why it is a glycogenesis to produces. Glucagon acts in liver and adipose tissue only. Epinephrine is released from the adrenal gland. Ephedrine or adrenaline, the both are same. Adrenaline or ephedrine acts on liver and muscle cells. The phosphorylase cascade amplifies the signal. Release glycogenolysis to produce epinephrine to produce the glycogenolysis. See, this is the image how cyclic AMP is activate the enzyme. Already I said cyclic AMP mainly activate the protein kinase. When the protein kinase activated, it activates some enzymes. See, this is when the hormones, suppose if we take an ephedrine, adrenaline hormones, the inactive adenyl cyclase enzyme, I discussed it in the class also, activate the adenyl cyclase. When the adenyl cyclase enzyme activated, it's converted into cyclic AMP. These cyclic AMP activate the protein kinase. This is inactive, now it is active protein kinase. These protein kinase enzyme, when it is activated, inactive phosphorylase converted into active phosphorylase. You know what is the function of an active phosphorylase? What is the function of an active phosphorylase? To break the alpha 1,4 bond between the one glucose molecule and one another glucose molecule. So the two glucose molecules free now to form the glucose 1-phosphate. So that's why so that is it's a second ATP to form this adenosine, same active of glycose and phosphorylase. Finally, breakdown of alpha 1,4 bond between the one glucose molecule and then releases the glucose 1-phosphate. This is the cyclic AMP. This cycling of how it is released with adenyl cyclase enzyme. These adenyl cyclase, how it is activated? Hormone means adrenaline, noradrenaline, some hormones, growth hormone, glucagon, and not insulin. Insulin to inhibit this enzyme. Insulin to inhibit this enzyme. Okay. So the difference, both are glycogenolytic, but different reasons. Ephedrine, say ephedrine, epinephrine, adrenaline is different, glucagon is different, but both are releases the glucose molecules from the glycogen. How? How they can release? So both are glycogenolytic. So when the glycogen lysis happen, glucose molecules form. Ephedrine is the fight or flight motion. So rapidly mobilizing large amounts of needed the energy. Glucagon is the for long-term maintenance for steady state levels of glucose in the blood. So activates the glycogen breakdown and activates the liver gluconeogenesis. The glucagon mainly act on the liver. Okay. So release these points to the site of action. So ephedrine and glucagon stimulates the glycogenolysis, and inhibit the glycogenesis. There's the ephedrine and glucagon stimulates the glycogenolysis and inhibit the glycogenesis via the cyclic AMP. This is very important. You have to write for the example in the significance of cyclic AMP in the first chapter we discussed it. So, and phosphorylation through the cascade, means through the mechanism release of glucose molecule. Glycogenesis is stimulated by insulin in pathway, ending the dephosphorylation of the glycogen synthase. So glycogenolysis is also inhibited via dephosphorylation taken up of glucose. This is the regarding glycogenesis and the glycogenolysis.